The Lagos sun blazed through the city streets, but for Tinu Aidwale, life felt lighter than before. Her new job as a receptionist with accommodation had given her stability. She woke each morning with purpose, prepared breakfast for herself, and commuted to work without the fear and uncertainty she had felt during her first week. By the end of her first month, she had learned to balance her duties, manage small responsibilities, and save a portion of her earnings toward her education. Every evening, she counted the money tucked carefully in her school savings envelope and whispered a prayer. Lord, thank you for guiding me. Let these small steps lead me to a brighter future. One Saturday, she took a bold step. She found a nearby private tutorial center offering classes to help students prepare for JAM and university admission. The fees were manageable, and she immediately enrolled. That evening, she called Lola, her voice vibrant with excitement. Sister, I started preparing for JAMB. I want to make sure I get admission without depending solely on luck. Lola's smile radiated over the phone. Tinu, that is wonderful. I'm so proud of your courage and foresight. Keep working hard, and God will open the doors for you. Meanwhile, Bayo in Abuja was thriving academically and spiritually. His days were structured. Lectures, laboratory sessions, study groups, and church fellowship. He had quickly made friends who shared his values and ambition. One afternoon, while studying in the library, a senior student approached him. Bayo, you're doing well in radiography. I hear you've been dedicated in your classes. If you want, I can help you get some local opportunities here in Abuja. Internships, volunteering, even community projects. It could benefit your growth and maybe even your family indirectly. Bayo's heart leapt. The thought of helping his father and siblings, even from afar, inspired him. Thank you, he said humbly. I would be grateful for guidance, sir. Back in Ibadan, Chief Aidwale observed his household with a mixture of contentment and longing. His young children with his wife were growing well, school going smoothly, and the home orderly. Yet, the thought of Bayo, Lola, and Tinu still lingered in his mind. He often prayed quietly. Lord, guide my children. Protect them and help them grow in every way, wherever they are. The stepmother, meanwhile, enjoyed her comfortable life and the attention of Chief Aidwale, but she never realized the seeds of growth and independence being planted far away in Lagos and Abuja. Tinu's first weeks of study, combined with her new job, were challenging but rewarding. She often stayed late at the tutorial center, taking notes and reviewing lessons, then returned to her small accommodation to prepare meals and pray. Each night she whispered a quiet prayer. God, give me strength to succeed, wisdom to make the right choices, and courage to face every challenge. Unseen, across miles in Abuja, Bayo prayed the same prayer for her, asking God to protect his sisters and guide their path. Across 3 cities, Lagos, Abuja, and Ibadan, the Aidwale siblings were slowly taking control of their destinies. Tinu was growing in independence, education, and faith. Bayo was thriving academically and spiritually in Abuja, building connections that could eventually support his family. Lola was establishing her career and personal life, moving toward marriage with Daniel. Though separated, God's hand continued weaving their lives together, preparing the way for blessings, opportunities, and answered prayers. The Lagos streets were alive with noise, but for Tinu Aidwale, life had begun to feel like home. Her new job as a receptionist not only provided income, but also accommodation, allowing her to leave Amara's place and fully embrace independence. The small room was simple, but it was hers. A space where she could cook, study, and plan her future without interference. Even with this newfound independence, Lagos was still a city full of challenges. One evening, after a long day at work and a tutorial class, Tinu reflected on how far she had come. Lord, Thank you for this job, for this place, and for giving me the courage to take responsibility for my life, she whispered in prayer. She realized that independence wasn't just about having a room or money to save. It was also about learning discipline, patience, and perseverance in the face of new responsibilities. Meanwhile, in Abuja, Bayo was making steady progress in university. He had connected with Chinonso, the senior student, who introduced him to an internship opportunity at a local clinic, a chance to gain practical experience in radiography. Bayo's dedication and humility impressed the clinic manager, who encouraged him to consider helping the clinic with community health programs. One evening, while walking back from the clinic, Chinonso said, "Bayo, with your skills and dedication, you could even create opportunities that might help your family. Even from here in Abuja, think about how you can contribute back home once you are ready." Bayo's mind raced with possibilities. Though he couldn't return to Ibadan yet, he knew that his actions here could ripple outward, eventually benefiting his father, Lola, and Tinu. "Thank you, sir," he replied. "I want to use everything I'm learning to honor God and help my family." Back in Ibadan, Chief Aidwale continued his quiet prayers for his children. He was aware of Tinu's journey to Lagos. She had left a note in his Bible, and he prayed that God would protect her, give her courage, and guide her steps. The stepmother remained content in the household, enjoying her children and the calmness of daily life, unaware of the struggles and growth happening far from home. Tinu's move into her own accommodation and her first weeks of work taught her resilience, discipline, and the importance of trusting God. She knew that every small step, earning, saving, and preparing for school, was shaping her character and preparing her for greater opportunities. At the same time, Bayo's growth in Abuja, through studies, mentorship, and practical experience, was laying the foundation for a time when he could support his family in meaningful ways. Though miles apart, the siblings' journeys were moving forward in parallel. Tinu, learning independence and perseverance. Bayo, gaining skills and building opportunities in Abuja. Lola, advancing in her career and personal life, moving toward marriage with Daniel. And in the quiet moments of prayer, they all remained connected, each step guided by God's unseen hand. Time passed in measured steps, not leaps. Weeks turned into months, and Tinu began to notice subtle changes in herself. She no longer panicked when challenges arose. Bills were paid on time. Savings, small but steady, grew in her envelope. Her study schedule became disciplined, her focus sharper. At work, her supervisor noticed. "You're consistent," she was told one afternoon. "That's rare." Those words stayed with her longer than praise ever had before. Meanwhile, life continued to move quietly around her. Calls with Lola became moments of encouragement. Lola usually updated her on happening at her own end. This serves as a reminder for Tinu that tough times never last, but tough people do, and that healing of joy do come after storms. Each conversation reminded Tinu that life could rebuild itself, slowly, faithfully. From Abuja, Bayo's occasional messages carried hope. He spoke of long hours at the clinic, of learning from professionals, of dreams bigger than survival. Their paths were different, but the destination felt shared. Some evenings, after long study sessions, Tinu would step outside and watch the Lagos night. Lights flickering, lives unfolding, countless dreams crossing paths. She realized she was no longer just surviving the city. She was becoming part of it. Yet beneath her progress was a quiet waiting. JAMB results were expected. Forms had been obtained, filled, and submitted. JAMB examination written also. She always pray about her JAM results often too. God should help her and let the results favor her. Though, She prepared thoroughly well for the JMB examinations, but she depended on God's help for hitch-free admission to the university. There were days she avoided thinking about admission altogether, afraid to hope too loudly. Other days, she imagined classrooms, textbooks, a future where her struggles made sense. One night, as she closed her books and lay on her bed, she felt a deep calm. Whatever the outcome, she knew something important had already changed. She had learned discipline. She had learned faith without guarantees. She had learned how to stand. And unknown to her, the answer she had been preparing for, praying for, was already on its way.